Welcome back, Devils fans. And the season is over. Officially now, even the most delusional and optimistic of you out there can finally come to grips with the fact that the New Jersey Devils season was ended tonight at the Prudential Center, dropping a painful one by a score of 5-3 to the Florida Panthers. And wow, there's a lot to get into regarding this game. The first game under the Travis Green era. But let me just start off with the local pregame coverage if you have MSG Network or some sort of feed to MSG Network. The lead-in to the pregame show was Erica and Sal with none other than Tom Fitzgerald. And he just kind of regurgitated more of his deplorable rhetoric from his earlier press conference today. It was absolutely disgusting. And once again, Erica asked him, why now? Why make the coaching change now? And then again, he used the phrase, he was wishing and hoping he'd see some changes. Wishing and hoping I'd see some changes. Completely pathetic. Wishing and hoping. We had league worst goaltending the entire season. Every broadcast team from TNT to whatever coverage you saw outside of market, because obviously all the home crew with, Erica, Dano, Sal, all complete homers and would praise our goalies and they were getting lit up. But any other out of market coverage, you would constantly hear them asking, what are the Devils waiting for to get a goalie? And, the Devils really need a goalie. Like, it's time to get a goalie. All season long, everyone on the planet knew it. And Fitz decided to go with what he calls the wishing and hoping approach, and it fucking failed. And so now our season is officially over. While not mathematically eliminated, we were 8 points out of a playoff spot before tonight. It's officially over. Season over. The game's over. Season's over. And Fitz should be over, but he's not going to be. But once again, we lose a game tonight with average to above average NHL goaltending. We win tonight's game easily. A game in which I thought we looked pretty damn good against the best team in the league. The Florida Panthers are now the measuring stick by which you see where your team stacks in the league, and we looked pretty damn good. We clawed from behind, and it wasn't the prettiest of games for the Devils, but it definitely was not one of their worst, and they showed signs of life throughout the game. First game under Travis Green, and it's unfortunate that Fitz failed us with the goalie. Tonight is just the most recent example on the season where I don't see how you could tell me with a real goalie we're not winning this game. We are winning this game with a real goalie. That's it, bottom line. And so another game lost because of shit goaltending, and it just makes Fitz look even dumber. But in that pregame, after Fitz said he was wishing and hoping he'd see some changes, he went back to his go-to mottos or slogans for the team, which is, our window just opened up here, and it's going to be open for a long time. The window opened last year, bud. We set the franchise record with 112 points and won a first-round playoff matchup against the Rangers in 7 hard-fought games before we got blown out by the Hurricanes. But record-setting regular season, beat our arch rivals across the river in the first round in 7 games, and that's it. That's when the window's open. And then him and Sal in the pregame kept trying to go back to, like, we were a victim of our own success and it was too much too soon and all these things. No, bud. No, when you suck for 10 years, when that happens, this is the norm now. There is no, we overachieved. Don't expect that next year and we're going to miss the playoffs. That's complete bullshit. Fitz has completely failed this year, and for that reason, he should lose his job completely. The window opened last year. That's it. That is it. There is no, we overachieved and things went right for us and blah, 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 and this is not reality. No, that is reality. You're a clown. We can't miss the playoffs after last year. It happened because Fitz refused to get a goalie and or address tons of the other issues, but I'm just going with the goalie because it's one single piece. Yes, he did nothing after Dougie got hurt, and we have teenagers playing full-time, yada, yada, but that's a little more complex of a situation than just the simple goalie fix. The reality is he was in the market. He was in the market for a goalie and failed to produce a goalie. Therefore, you failed, you get an F, you get fired. Fire Fitz. Fire Fitz is alive and well. And his second quote after the his favorite go-to quote, besides the window just opened, the company catchphrase now is, the future here is extremely bright. Again, another saying I'm fucking done with. I don't want to hear about the future. The future is now. You are a clown. While the future is bright, the now should be bright as well. You lucked into high draft picks via the lottery system in the league, and the fortune you have right now on the roster is because you got lucky. There was nothing, unless you want to start crediting him for, taking jackhughes over Capo Caco. If we're going to applaud that, which was basically the unanimous, pick across the hockey universe, that's what he did. And so you lucked into the roster you have. You are not able to fine-tune it. And again, not even like a super finite fine-tune. Just the fine-tune of getting a goalie. To fail to get a goalie, and tonight was another example. We win this game with a real goalie. How many of these games have there been across the season? Too many to count. We are firmly in a playoff position with adequate NHL goaltending. That is a fact, and there's nothing you could say about it. And more Fitzgerald, cop and please pregame. Our window just opened up here, and the future is bright. Give me a break. The guy makes me sick. Complete pretender of a GM. And we'll get to the game. So, of course, once again, why would we score first? This is the 23-24 New Jersey Devils. We give up the first goal. And at 2:54, Cousins on a backhand. I think that was a weak goal by Akira. I think, again, given the importance of this game and, first game under a new coach, first start for Akira Schmid in a while, you want to leave an impression. You want to play your best game and give your team a chance to win. Giving up a goal like that, completely deplorable. But Cousins at 2:54, and then at 6:30, Rodriguez. That one I'm a little, I could go both ways in that. It wasn't a great goal. It wasn't a terrible one. It's just that, they happen. But 2-0 at 6:30, and then the Devils show signs of life on the power play. Jack, nice little wrister with a little traffic in front, uses the guy as a screen, rips it past Stolars. 2-1 Panthers after 1, and then I've been waiting for this portion of the show, fellas. At 11:01, Timo fucking Meyer, with what I am declaring right now, my favorite New Jersey Devils goal, and it will take a lot to top this, my favorite New Jersey Devils goal of the 23-24 season, because this is just a combination of brute strength, will, finesse, scrappiness, heart, determination. Roll all those things up into a ball, and that is what this Timo Meyer goal was. A complete single-handed effort, made something out of nothing, completely trucks two Panthers players, while trucking the players, kicks the puck, while trucking two men, kicks the puck to his backhand of his stick, and one-hands it in. Folks, this was the Devils' goal of the year. I probably watched it on replay like 7 or 8 times from all the different angles. Absolutely phenomenal one-man effort from Timo Meyer, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Timo Meyer is a power forward. Again, I'm not to make excuses. He had a lot of injuries early in the year. I believe he was still injured for a period of time after he came back. With good line mates, with ice time, with the right situations, I believe he should be on power play 1 right in front of the net. In the right scenarios, Timo Meyer is a fucking bull, and we have no one else like him on this roster, and he's going to give you goals like that. That was the nicest, grittiest, most beautiful goal of the Devil season. Timo Meyer at 11:01, and in a big moment to tie the game after being down 2-0 to the best team in the league. Timo Meyer goes crushing dudes, kicking the puck to his backhand and finesse, one-hands it into the net. Tie game 2-2. Timo Meyer, you guys better recognize he's on the comeback. He's been heating up lately. A lot of you have talked shit. He has not lived up to his contract. I'll be the first to admit we are in year 1 of an 8-year deal, and this man is a force to be reckoned with, and we will see it for 7 more years. Hopefully we get a coach that puts him on the right wing long term and figures out how to utilize him properly, and San Jose gave us the roadmap for that. Put him at right wing and put him on the power play. It's not rocket science. We will eventually see that again with a competent coach behind the bench. But Timo Meyer ties it up at 2. And then a minute and a half later, in typical Devils fashion, you get one, you got to give one back right away. 12:37, a minute 36 seconds later. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this dude's name. kind of fools Siegenthaler with a little misdirection. I thought Siegenthaler was a pathetic attempt on his part. I got to watch it again. It just seemed like he kind of got fooled and then a little lazy, but kind of turned Siegenthaler inside out there and wrist one past Schmidt. I don't think that was a good goal either. I think that's one that, again, if you're a legit goalie and in a game of this magnitude, it's a save you must make to keep your team in the game. But terrible play by Siegenthaler, and I think a weak goal by Schmidt. Panthers up 3-2 after 2. And then at 5:33 of the third, Cousins gets one to give the Panthers the 4-2 lead. That one is a tough one to stop for any goalie, so I mean I'm not gonna kill him for that. But Cousins with the little redirect tip in front, giving the Panthers the 4-2 lead at 5:33. And at that point, I thought, game over. We're just, that's it. But nope. At 11:16, Colin Miller. Not only does this man have a cannon slap shot, he also has a nasty wrist shot. He wristed one through Stolarz into the net, and he must have hit the middle perfectly where it hit the net and flew out like immediately, 100 miles an hour, like in the blink of an eye. But Miller, I like Miller at the point. He's another guy that I thought, along with Shimo Nemitz, should have seen some quarterback time on the power play, on power play one instead of Luke Hughes. Maybe we'll see a little bit more Miller down the stretch, deployed in different situations by Travis Green. It'll be interesting to see. But Miller with a beautiful wrister, cutting the Florida lead to 4-3. And then the Devils had a bunch of chances down the stretch. We couldn't get another one. Couldn't crack the code. And with the empty net, after we blocked a bunch of attempts, eventually Reinhart buries one, his 45th of the season. This guy's about to get major paid. Reinhart, his 45th on the empty net at 19:52. Florida wins the game 5-3. Devils are done, completely done. I hope you all could just start grieving. I've been in grieving for the past couple days. It's been a long couple days coming to grips with the fact that the New Jersey Devils season was in fact over, that there will be no playoff hockey for me to enjoy as a Devils fan. And, we just buried Lindy this morning. We had his funeral service. If you haven't seen the Lindy funeral service and, celebration of life, remembering Lindy, that video is on the YouTube channel now. It was uploaded earlier today. We'll look at some of the game stats. Shots on goal, Panthers 31, Devils 24. Faceoffs pretty even, 47.8% for the Panthers, 52.2% for the Devils. Florida 1 for 2 for 50% on the power play. Devils 1 for 3, 33.3%. Hits even at 8-8. Block shots, 19 for the Panthers, 13 for the Devils. Giveaways, 4 for the Panthers, 5 for the Devils. Takeaways, 7 Panthers, 6 Devils. And, we looked really good for stretches of the game. We didn't look so great for stretches. But in the end, overall, I thought it was a fairly decent game by this New Jersey Devils. One that they played well enough to win the game had we had a legitimate NHL goaltender, but we do not. So it is another loss on the year and another loss that we could blame Tom Fitzgerald for. It's very unfortunate that, that this is our fate. The inactivity and unwillingness to pull the trigger and make something happen by Tom Fitzgerald has cost us another game, and now the season's officially over. And so I'm very curious to see down the stretch what other personnel changes we see, what else Travis Green tries in terms of lines, power play combinations, who's going to be the next to watch from the press box. At this point, I think, who do you even start the next game? I guess you start Nico Dawes. At this point, it's become pure comedy, honestly. It's been a rotating door or a goalie carousel of subpar NHL goalies, and we're trotting them out there as starters, baby. We are trotting them out there as starters because we have nothing else. I hope, if nothing else, that we see, some of the other kids in the AHL maybe get a shot in the NHL, because at this point, we've seen what we're getting on a nightly basis. So give Poulter a start. Some people were calling for Colgren. I would throw Colgren a start, and call me crazy, give Jeremy Brodeur a start. Jeremy Brodeur from the Adirondack Thunder, call him up and give that kid a start. Give him a start. We have nothing to lose. That would be a nice little feel-good story. Imagine if Jeremy Brodeur, son of Marty, comes in and has a crazy NHL outing and wins a game. I mean, what else do we have to play for at this point? I mean, some guys are playing for contracts and money and, ice time and increased roles on the team for next season, yada, yada. But you know what? I've seen pretty much everything I need to see from the goalies we've been seeing on the season. I don't know at this point if Vitek ever comes back. Fitzgerald said something earlier at the end of the press conference. I think that that Vitek's like timetable was behind schedule of what they thought. So who knows? I thought that was all part of a grand ploy so that he doesn't play anymore and shit the bed. And he had the most trade value coming off that scoreless regulation game in Carolina. I thought, Fitz is just never going to let him touch the ice again and let everyone's last memory of him or end video be a 60-minute shutout before losing in overtime. But yeah, give Kallgren a shot. Give Poulter a start. Dawes or Schmid are not, to me, the answer long-term at the moment. Either one of them could blossom into the guy, but I think we're a couple years away at least. And so, to me, we are desperately searching for our bona fide starter, and then there would be an open competition, in my opinion, regarding who would be the backup to said starter, and whether that's Schmid, Dawes, Poulter, Kallgren, whoever, they could figure that out in training camp or something of that nature. But in the end, a legit starter needs to be brought to New Jersey. The sooner the better. It seems like Fitz is going to wait for the summer. I just can't see him doing it now before the deadline because people are going to say, why do it now? It was too late. If the right circumstance came along, I'm not against it, but it has to happen either before the deadline Friday or in the summer. We cannot go into next season with the goalies that we have. That would be career suicide for Fitz, and hopefully if he does do it, it'd be his last, kind of the last straw for him, and ownership would say, see you later, bud. Go join Lindy wherever he's hanging out right now on the unemployment line because you don't work here no mo. And yeah, let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know what you think about the goalies. What do you think about Travis Green? Anything else? Any and all Devils things, just throw it out there. I'm trying to think. I have a couple random things. Oh, they showed on the local feed again on MSG, for those of you that watch local coverage, they showed a video clip of Kenny Danico pummeling Curtis McDermott's father like back in the day. It looked like it was probably early 90s footage. Yeah, so it was a funny thing of, Dano beating on Curtis McDermott, our newly acquired muscle. Kenny beating on his father early in the early 90s. Maybe if I find a way to put that up or find the video. That was a pretty funny video clip, I thought. But yeah, sad night. It's officially over. There's no need to hold out hope anymore. Dry your eyes. Numb the pain. This video brought to you by Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Again, we're going heavy on these tonight. Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Delicious and refreshing. A lot less filling than beer. And I enjoy these things. They kind of go down like water, to be honest. Anything else I had to talk about? I think that's really it, guys. It's just, it's going to be a super long summer. Really long summer for me. I get really depressed. Obviously, you guys know I really, love this team, and it hits me deep to the soul when we suck this bad, and especially coming off of last season. And so now it's March 5th. Yeah, we're not going to play a meaningful game. Wow, it's just so painful to think about. The season opener for this Devils team, and that's gonna be the first. I mean, obviously, I go to rookie camp and development camp and all those things, to get my fix on in the summer. But the reality is, we're not going to be playing a legit meaningful game. The season opener is like 7 months away. Oh my God, what a long season! Last year we played into May. 5 months versus a 7-month off season. It's a very big difference. Very painful, very depressing. And that's how these kids on the team are going to feel. Because here's the difference. This is the first time that this young group with Nico, Jack, Jesper, that all these guys now are going into the summer early. Well, not Nico. He went there once, but it wasn't like a thing. Going into an early summer after tasting the playoff success, because Jack never had it before. So, I'm sure he was aggravated, and he's a competitor, and he wants to be in the playoffs and wants to play in meaningful games. But for those first few years, it was like, sucking in early summers were the norm. Last year, he finally got a taste of that postseason and a postseason series win against the Rangers, and now it's like a drug. He's going to be chasing that high, and he's not getting it now because we flamed out and are garbage. And it's unfortunate. You could see the frustration in Jack after Florida scored in the empty net. He kind of like fired the puck or whatever. You tell he was pissed off. And, that's good. I want to know my players are pissed off. I want to know they're as angry as I am. I didn't fire a puck because I'm not on the ice, but I'm throwing shit in my house. I'm not proud of it, but in anger, I get mad. I want to know that they have that rage. Like, show you care. And I do think Jack cares. And I think there's a lot of guys that care as well. But just back to the overall, elements of the roster that I've complained about forever, aside from the goaltending and obviously shoring up the defense that we have all these young kids playing and getting exposed every night. But the other thing is really the team is just so soft. If you watch other teams, you just see a difference. Other teams just have a different, the chemistry and the DNA of the team is made up of guys that would just kill our guys. And people are like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore. And that's going to bring me to another point in a minute. But team toughness matters. Like, even Florida, you could tell, is a much grittier, nastier team than us. And I'm not saying to go sign 5 more McDermotts. McDermott, to me, is a separate issue. That's just like, an insurance policy, bone-crushing enforcer for when people like Rempe on the Rangers do cheap shit and you need to send a sheriff out. A guy's got to take out the trash, make guys accountable, have them answer the bell for doing dirty shit. You need a guy like that. But when I say toughness, I mean more, and I know you guys are going to, some of you idiots are going to kill me for this, but like Timomeier is a tough player. Or at least a much tougher player than the majority of our roster. Gritty guys that could get those dirty goals, go down low, fight through checks, and just give teams hell. We are not made up that way. And so, I want dogs. I want straight up dogs on our roster. Right now, Timo's the only thing that even is remotely a dog right now. And the rest of them, I hate to say, are just like soft finesse skill players. And they're great to have, and you could win with them. But I don't think with a team entirely made up of those guys, you're not going to go to the promised land. You're not going to win a cup. You need some snarl. You need the sandpaper. And I want straight up dogs. I want at least 1 or 2 just power forwards that will just grind, put their head down, go to the net, take checks, give elbows, take elbows, whatever you have to do to win. And I just feel like we don't have, the guys in this roster, or at least enough of them to do that. I mean, just going back to the Timo goal, how many other players on this team do you legitimately believe are capable of a play like that? Keep on. The play started with him bowling through 2 guys. Right there, that's eliminating most of our roster. No one's doing that. And so those are the type of plays that get me super pumped as a fan. I do like the, Jack's bang shots and the fancy stick work and the beautiful one-timers. Those are all great too. But a goal I will always favor and appreciate more than anything is a goal like that where he was down low and just gutted out, crushing 2 dudes, and then he has the finesse on top of it. Has the foresight to kick the puck from his skate to the backhand of his stick and one-handed directs it into the goal. That was an absolutely beautiful goal that I will never forget. The best of the Devils season. It's not going to get topped in my book. That was the epitome of a tough-nosed hockey player goal. Love to see it. I'm going to go watch it 10 more times after this. But all in all, sad night. The first game of the Travis Green era is underway. We are 0-1. We fought hard against the best team in the league, came up short. Goaltending lost it for us again. And Stolarz in net. You know what? I believe he's going to be available this summer, I believe. Not making a lot of money at all. New Jersey native. I definitely offer him a contract. If not to be our starting or 1 goalie, he will make a beautiful 1A. That's for sure. I'm not opposed to getting 2 new goalies this offseason, honestly. A guy like Stolarz and get me a Markstrom or a Saros. Beautiful. Love that tandem. Stolarz is definitely better than anyone we have now, so I would give him a shot. If it came down to him or nothing, I'll roll the dice with him. But to get him as our 1A guy with a more veteran Markstrom or Saros type, that'd be phenomenal. But Fitz can't seem to land 1 goalie, so the odds of him landing 2 are probably non-existent. But all right, I've rambled on here for a while. Let me know what you thought about the game in the comments. Let me know what you thought about anything with Fitz today, whether it was his press conference or the little interview he did with Erica and Sal before the game on local coverage. If you haven't looked, check out the videos from earlier today. We had a beautiful service for Lindy, remembering Lindy, on the channel from earlier today. And I also have a thoughts and reaction video on the Tom Fitzgerald press conference from earlier today, which I thought was an absolute disgrace. But there's a whole video on that as well on the channel. And yeah, throw out all the thoughts, comments, whatever you think. I'm going to be watching for the rest of the season. I'm sure many of you will tune out now that the games are officially meaningless. But I will be watching till the day I die, win or lose. And it's unfortunate, and that's all I could say. That's all I could say. The tumultuous season marches on. The 23-24 New Jersey Devils, quite the soap opera. Quite the soap opera. Talk to you all soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.